Hey guys, welcome back. This is Rob from ZborGaming, and today we are going to start our weapon guide series for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And the first weapon we're going to look at is the XM4 Assault Rifle. So this is unlocked at level 4, has a max level of 55. It's a full auto assault rifle, and it's basically a decent jack of all trades assault rifle. Doesn't really excel at any one thing, but it's pretty good. So hey, the way we're going to do these weapon guides this time around is I'm going to go through each of the main damage statistics, firepower, speed, accuracy, ammo, talk about various attachments that you can use to improve each of those categories, and I'll give you some loadouts with some gameplay at the end of the video. So stick around, we got a lot of information to cover. So here are all the attachments for the XM4. You've got, on every weapon, all the primary weapons have 12 optics, and 6 attachments for the other 7 categories. So you have 54 attachments, 55 levels. I'll touch on some of these in detail later. I've got all the attachment unlock levels next to these. If you want to see the infographic, head over to ZborGaming.com and check out the XM4 page. So here are the firepower stats for the XM4. It has damage of 30, an effective damage range of 45.7 meters, fire rate of 722 RPMs, and a bullet velocity of 550. So if we take a look at the damage in a little more detail here, it does have a 1.4 multiplier to the head, so it's actually going to do 42 damage to the head from 0 to 45.7 meters and 39 after, which means it's always going to be a 4-shot kill to the head, and the time to kill is going to be about 250 milliseconds. In this game, there are no additional multipliers below the head, at least for the assault rifle. So all the body shots will do 30 or 28 damage, which means body shots will be either a 5 or a 6 bullet kill. 332 time to kill to the body. Now, if you do equip the 13.5-inch Task Force barrel, note that it comes with a 7% damage increase, which will make this still a 4-shot kill to the head. Yet all body shots now, it will be a 5-shot kill because this farther drop off is 30 damage. So note that the difference here by putting this on is it gets rid of that 6-shot kill. I will talk about this barrel in a little more detail later with regards to some of the other properties it has. If we take a look at the damage range, you have 3 different barrels which increase your damage range and 2 muzzles which decrease it. So I've got all those listed out here. Again, 114 meters is probably far more than you'll need for any 6v6 multiplayer map. For maybe Dirty Bomb, you could use it on there. As far as bullet velocity, again, these are all listed out. That base bullet velocity is 550 meters per second. And you can see here you've got 4 different barrels which improve your bullet velocity, and you have the 2 suppressors which decrease it. So if we move on to the speed stats now, well, one thing I will mention with the firepower is if you are looking to increase that vehicle damage, you have the Cavalry Lancer barrel, and the melee quickness is that Bruiser grip. And I don't believe for this weapon there are any attachments which improve your fire rate. So moving on to the speed, fairly standard for the assault rifles. The 10.26 mile per hour movement speed is pretty common, 95%. I think the QBZ might be a slightly bit faster, and then your pistols, your SMGs, and I believe your shotguns all have a faster movement speed. I'll talk about the aim down sight and the sprint to fire on the next slide here. And your aim walk movement speed, again, this is standard for the assault rifles, and it's 42% of the max. If you are looking to improve these various movement speed metrics, take a look at various underbarrels and stocks, because those are the attachments that will help in your overall movement speed. Now, taking a look at the attachments for your aim down sight time. Primarily these are handles. You do have 1 barrel that gives you a better aim down sight time. So the fastest ADS speed you can get is to put that 13.7-inch extended barrel with the airborne elastic wrap, and you can knock that basically in half, down to 150 milliseconds. Now keep in mind here that most of your magazine and some of your body attachments increase your ADS time, but you can, depending on how you pair them together, can basically offset that. Sprint to fire, you've got a couple of stocks which help your sprint to fire, and note that there are a handful of handles and lasers that will slow down your sprint to fire time. The best improvement you can get there is basically a 30% though. Now, if we're taking a look at accuracy, here are your accuracy stats. Has very minimal horizontal recoil, and vertical recoil really isn't that bad at 360. Flinch resistance, hip fire, these are, this 10 newtons is fairly common pretty much across all the weapons. Centering speed. Hip fire isn't too bad at 7.5 mils. This, I think, in the game ranges anywhere from about 6 to 8.5. And what that is if you have this little target over here, it's basically, you know, a 6 might be the inner ring and 8.5 might be the outer ring. It basically increases that radial spread for your hip fire accuracy. So if we take a look at the base recoil for the XM4, you can see here it pretty much kicks straight up and does a little loop here at the top. Not too bad on the whole for your base recoil. So if you want attachments to help with your recoil, these are all the various attachments which affect your recoil. You can see here that the foregrip, you got a couple underbarrels, a handful of muzzles, and note this task force barrel. I mentioned it earlier. It says it's only supposed to affect your horizontal recoil. That is not really true. This is, I think, bugged, and I'll show you here in a slide or two what I mean. The best recoil combination that you can get is by putting the field agent grip and the SOCOM eliminator muzzle together. This basically gives you almost no recoil for the weapon. And here it is. You can see that by putting these two attachments together, it basically eliminates almost all recoil on the weapon. Now, going back to that strike team barrel, if we look up here, you can see it's only supposed to affect your horizontal recoil. That is not the case. When you use this barrel, it adds a substantial amount of vertical recoil to the gun. So, how much? Here is the comparison. Here is your base recoil pattern, and here is that strike team. You can see it more than doubles the overall recoil of your weapon. So, take that into consideration. It does offer you some good boosts to your damage, but you're going to have a lot harder time hitting those targets at range because of the added recoil on this barrel. You would have to probably add both of these attachments to help minimize that down. So if we go and move over to the ammo, it does have a mag size of 30 with 60 in reserve, giving you a total starting ammo of 90, and max capacity is 180. Reload quickness is 2.6 seconds. So if you want to affect your reload, these are the various attachments you can put on. Your 40 round and your 50 round base attachments will slow your reload speeds down. And you can see here that these are your reload speeds for the other magazines. The fastest you can get is putting on that SAS mag clamp as well as the Salvo 50 round fast mag. Now your tactical reload, that's basically your reload time if you have existing rounds already in. Your base reload time is if you're completely empty. And so I've got both those times listed out here. You can also see that what the various attachments do as far as your magazine, your max starting ammo, as well as your total capacity. I like to run this Salvo 50 round fast mag. Gives you fast reload, gives you quite a bit additional ammo. It does give you a 25% decrease to your ADS speed. If we go back up here, you'll see right here it does hurt that, but what I like to do is to throw on either the Serpent or the Airborne Elastic Wrap to offset that penalty. So if we head back down, want to talk about muzzle flash concealment. This is pretty obvious here. This keeps you off the radar. The way they do it in this game is the amount of time your dot is on screen. So clearly with the suppressor and the agency suppressor, it doesn't show up at all. With the flash guard, it's only going to show up for 1/10 of a second. And with the SOCOM eliminator, it's basically 0.15 seconds. So really, all of these are great attachments in my opinion. The flash guard comes with no downsides, which is great. I really like running that because it it doesn't come with any of the movement penalties that you get with the suppressor and the agency suppressor. So guys, with this, I want to touch on a couple loadouts here. So this is what I'm calling my under level 20 loadout. As you guys probably know, leveling up weapons in this game seems to take a lot longer than in Modern Warfare. So, you know, a lot of people may not have the weapons leveled up very far yet. I hope you took advantage of that double XP over the Thanksgiving weekend. That was definitely helpful. But what I'm running here is the flash guard, the steady aim laser, infiltrator grip for the movement speed, speed tape for that ADS, and then the tactical stock with some additional ADS movement speed. So here's what the pros and cons look like for this loadout. You can see there's actually no cons to running this loadout. You get that 90% muzzle flash, hip fire accuracy, movement speed, shooting move speed, and aim down sight. So you can see it gives you a good boost to your speed, a little to your accuracy, and a little to your ammo. So let's go ahead and take a look at some gameplay now. Okay guys, this is going to be some gameplay with the under level 20 loadout. And just a reminder here, this has the flash guard, the infiltrator grip, speed tape, tactical stock, and the steady aim laser. So I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I know it's short, but it is what it is.
Coming through.
Okay guys, now we're going to move on to the accuracy loadout. So this loadout here has that Vision Tech 2x scope. I love that scope. I think it really focuses in on the target really nicely. It doesn't block a lot of your screen. This has that SOCOM eliminator muzzle to get that 85% muzzle flash. Also with that field agent foregrip and the airborne elastic wrap, these three together basically gives you that no recoil loadout that I showed earlier, and then I threw on that 50 round fast mag because I like that. So that airborne elastic wrap basically offsets the ADS speed. If we take a look at the pros and cons, you can see here this loadout has a ton of pros and very minimal cons. Now, because this is an accuracy loadout, we're going to be engaging targets more at range, and we're not really going to be moving around a whole lot. So that shooting move speed and the sprint to fire time, they really don't affect this playstyle a whole lot. So you get a huge amount of pros and very minimal cons, especially for the playstyle. You're going to be hanging back, picking enemies off, and you're going to have plenty of ammo, and you're going to be spot on. So I love this loadout. I played a game against bots and basically went 34-0 in probably 4 minutes with this loadout. This thing just completely shreds. So I highly recommend taking a look at this. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of gameplay with this accuracy loadout. Okay guys, so here's the gameplay with the high accuracy loadout. This has that 2x optic, the SOCOM eliminator muzzle, the field agent grip, the salvo 50 round fast mags, and the elastic wrap. You can see it has very low recoil. It's spot on. I highly recommend this loadout. This is probably my favorite loadout to run with the XM4 right now.
Care package available for tasking.
Alright guys, here's a little bit of gameplay with the gunfighter loadout. I have the millstop reflex on here. Again, you can put whatever sight you want. I'm running the suppressor, the 13.5-inch reinforced barrel, the steady aim laser, infiltrator grip, 40 round speed mag, the airborne elastic wrap, and the buffer tube. So this is another solid loadout. It has a little bit more recoil. None of the attachments here really compensate for that. But on the whole, I really like this loadout. And I think if you run it in your gunfighter setup, you'll like it too.
Wasted them. Throwing stun.
Okay guys, here is the gunfighter loadout for the XM4. You can see here that I've got everything kitted out. I've got the suppressor on to stay off the radar. The reinforced heavy gives you the added bullet velocity and range. Laser for hip fire, infiltrator grip for the movement speed, the 40 round speed mags for the extra reload, as well as ammo, the airborne elastic wrap for that ADS speed, and the buffer tube for your movement speed. So if we take a look at the pros and cons of this build, you can see again a whole ton of pros for this build, even flinch resistance, ammo capacity, movement speed, 10% aim down sight speed boost, and your cons here are a little bit of penalties, some of your movement speed, as well as your aim walk movement speed. On the whole, though, you can see that you're going to get a pretty good boost in just about every statistical category. So hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's all I got for you, a handful of loadouts. I wish you guys the best. Stick around. Definitely subscribe to the channel. This is the first of all of my Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War weapon guides. Going to have a lot more coming out in the future. So with that, guys, take care, and I'll talk to you later.